Had a first and a second in Zhuhai. Let's see what he's got to say. He's talking to Huiling.
Thank you. That's on the grid of the SuperSports 600 CUC with poleman Kasma Daniel. Kasma, your home race, and looks like you have a lot of people backing you this weekend. How are you looking forward to the first race?
For me, it's my second pole position in this season, and I want to win again, and I will fight to win.
All right, thank you so much, Kasma. So sweet and simple from the poleman. And starting alongside him today will be his teammate, the best ever grid position for Ahmad Afif. Ahmad Afif, you had a very strong qualifying early this morning. We know that the battle, the focus is on Pirapong and Kasma Daniel. How are you going to try to mix in the front group today?
Today we target for race 1, keep the front group and finish the top 5 or top 4 group, and it's enough for me to for the good result today.
All right, thank you so much, Ahmad Afif. Amran, so we'll see if Kasma and Afif will have some sort of team strategy against this very man here, starting from third position, Pirapong Bunlat. Pirapong, shared us today, you're racing alongside two other very strong Yamaha riders on the front row. How are you looking forward to the first race?
Yeah, we know that first rider and second rider is Malaysia rider. Yeah, it will be fast maybe, but this is a late. Everything can happen. Then maybe I just take my bet only.
All right, thank you so much, Pirapong. So a lot is on the line for the riders on the front row, including the championship points. So I'm going to send it back to Des and Steve in the studio to share with you about those information.
Thanks very much, Huiling. Yeah, we've rather glossed over the fact that Pirapong Bunlat could actually win the title today. He's had such a fabulous season so far, as Steve said earlier, 7 race wins, 3 podiums. And if he gets another race win today, he's champion. That is remarkable. It'll be with 4 races, well, 3 races still to go.
Yeah, and he actually has to do the one thing as we look at Ramdan Rosley there. He has to do the one thing he hasn't done all year, and that is finish second. So he's had thirds and first, but not a second. So if he gets a second, he'll get the hat trick and win as well. So we're looking forward to it.
The Yamahas are really holding fort. They are in Ps 1, 2, 3, and 4 as we go along. The best of the Hondas was Andy Farid Idzahar, and next to him is Azroy Hakim Anwar. You've had a little look at the bikes. Why would the Yamahas have such an advantage on this particular circuit?
Well, the Honda's been around for quite a while, and there's no secret that the Hondas, and we're just having a quick look at Azroy Hakim there, are super sweet handling, but they don't quite have the top end. The Yamaha's a newer design bike, and it does have that top end. So that explains, the reasoning why.
We're just about to get all the teams off the grid. Chance, though, for us to have a look at the bike of Reza Danica, who I always love to see race Reza, but his best result so far has been a 9 points from a 7th place last time out in Zhuhai. Alongside Reza Danica will be Pasawit Titvarek from the AP Honda Racing team. He's on P8, and then Javier Malloy from the Victor Racing team, the Spaniard, who's enjoyed himself here without getting too many results. Best result of the season for Javier, an 8th place. Sorry, I do.
Got a podium.
A podium, 2nd place in Adelaide, but after that, an 8th place in Zhuhai. So after that high of Adelaide, he's struggled really to compete at the top end.
He certainly has struggled to find that pace that he has had in the past. Of course, there's a few other riders out there as well, and that's Mohammed Ismail Himal.
He's from the local team, the Sepang International Circuit Racing team. What a facility to base a racing team at. You've got this on your own back door. Next to him, 634, is Helmi Azman from Musashi Bunchu Honda. And then Klitschapon from AP Honda in P12. Camera being told to disappear rather rapidly as we look down the main straight. 15 starters here. A reminder, the man in P3 in the blue livery of Pirapong Boonla can win the title. However, to do so, Kazma Daniel, well, Kazma Daniel's got to win or nothing. He's in P1 as well on the Hongleong Yamaha. Ahmad Afif Amran, his best pole of the season, or his best pole position of the season, on P2. Pirapong Boonla looking for the title on P3. Ramdan Rosley, good performance from him at P4. Andy Farid Idzahar from Astra Honda, the Indonesian, on P5. Next to him, Azroy Hakim. P7, Reza Danica Arendt. Come on, Reza, do it for me. Maybe it's just the name for Reza Danica, but the Indonesian P7 alongside Pasawit and Javier Maldoy, who, sorry, Javier had the podium in Adelaide. 10th position for Izam Iqmal. Helmi Azman, bike 634 in P11, and Krichapon, the Thai, in P12. Lap time 2:11.182, average speed 152.115. Fakruzi in P13. Alongside them, you've got Masai from China for the China Yamaha team in P14, ahead of Liam McDonald. Right, we'll have a look at the championship standings just to confirm that Pirapong Boonla has got such a huge lead. He is 80 points clear, 80 points clear of Kazma Daniel. So if Kazma wins and Pirapong comes second, then Pirapong will be the champion. So Pirapong effectively has to stay up and finish and just do his usual work, and he can win it here. If not today, then almost certainly tomorrow, Steve Martin.
Well, it sounds easy, doesn't it? But you never can count the others out, especially with a couple of the riders getting very strong towards this last part of the year. I mean, Kazma Daniel is a second a lap quicker at this meeting than he was at the start of the year. So he's one of the riders that has certainly found some pace. Yeah,
Kazma Daniel is a real talent. This is the formation lap, and that just shows you what a vast expanse of land that they use here at Sepang. It's a beautiful racing circuit. The MotoGP generates thousands and thousands of coming. This competition, I tell you what, it's every bit as competitive. It may have been Pirapong's season, but the races that we had in Zhuhai between Adam Norodin, sadly not racing here today, he's racing in Aragon in another series, but the race between him and Kazma Daniel last time out at Zhuhai was world-class racing.
Well, that is the thing with the Asia Road Racing Championship now. It really is world class, and I mean the two races that we've seen today so far have been absolutely amazing, and I expect this one to be even more so, especially with that championship on the line.
Just to reinforce that point, the AP 250 race that we had just before, the top 5 riders separated by less than 0.25 of a second. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Impossible to commentate on.
It's so close, and I mean, boy, what a race that was. But I wouldn't be turning off the TV set right now, Des, because we are in for an absolute crack of a race. There's the man to keep an eye on, the number 127, Kazma Daniel. He knows how to win now. He's got that feeling. He won last time out in China, and he wasn't given it, was he? He had to earn that race with Adam Norodin. So right now, he's going to be fighting to keep that championship alive with Pirapong. But does Pirapong want to not win again? I don't think so. I think he's going to give it everything he's got.
Yeah, Kazma Daniel beaten on the last corner in race 1 in Zhuhai, won on the last corner in race 2 in Zhuhai, both against Adam Norodin. Brilliant racecraft. But Pirapong Boonla picked up quietly 16 points in both of those races. Okay, the green flag and the red flag. The red lights will go on, and then we will be underway. It's a 10-lap race. Important start for Kazma Daniel. He's got away to a flyer. There is Kazma Daniel, very good start. Pirapong Boonla has been eaten up. He's accelerated away to get himself back into P2, Pirapong Boonla. But Kazma Daniel did all the Kazma could have been asked for. He will lead going into the first corner, Steve Martin.
Yeah, great ride by him. But Pirapong's been pushed out wide. Pirapong's gone back another spot there. Looks like it was Andy Farid Isidar who dived up the inside into turn 1 there and put himself into second spot. That's a great start by Andy Farid Isidar.
Certainly is, and Ramdan Rosley has also made a good move. Pirapong currently in P3. He's got the pink numbering on the front of his bike, relatively easy to identify. But Kazma Daniel Kazmuddin on the Hongleong Yamaha, been good day, good qualification anyway for the Yamahas. Right behind them, it is indeed Ramdan Rosley on the 1XOX racing team. So Yamaha 1, 2 and 3. and immediately being able to pull out a little bit of... Oh, huge! 2-3 riders taken out towards the back of that corner.
Yeah, wasn't quite sure who that was, but Pirapong is still there, importantly for the championship. That's opened up a little bit of a gap. That could have been, well, we'll wait and see. I don't want to say who I think it was at the moment.
So Ramdan Rosley, in the meantime, we'll get a replay of that, and we'll also get an update to make sure there's no serious injuries. But they were into the gravel track, which is exactly what it's there for, a relatively soft landing. One of those is Andy Farid Idzahar, who'd made a semi-decent start. Thankfully, he's on his knees and looks to be okay. But let's have a look at this. Talk us through this, Steve Martin.
Didn't really get to see the start of it, but looks like he's just lost the front, or both of those riders. Two going down at once like that would normally mean that they've collected each other. So unfortunately, I'd say one of those riders is at fault and one not, but that's not going to help their race result now. Good to see that they're up, walking, and they'll be able to take part tomorrow.
Ramdan Rosley uses the slipstream very well to go on the inside of Kazma Daniel. Kazma takes a tighter line, but Ramdan Rosley is able to close the gate. This is the end of lap 1 of 10. Ramdan Rosley, terrific race for him so far. 4th in the qualification, 1st at the end of lap 1 ahead of Kazma Daniel. Pirapong is Iqmal's got himself into P4. Azroy Hakim, Passaway, Reza Danica, Helmi Azman P8. Javier Maloy avoided the carnage. Krichapon, Fazruke, Fakruzi, and Masai and Lee McDonald. It was Ahmed Afif Amran and Andy Farid Idzahar, the two casualties. So Ahmed Afif, second on pole, but out of the race.
I'm going to read out the race results of Ramdan Rosley, who sits in second at the moment. The last 4 race results: did not finish, did not finish, did not finish, did not start. Keep an eye on this guy. He's either going to win it, or what rhymes with win it? In it.
5 in a row. Once is okay, but 2, 3, 4, 5 you don't want to be doing. At the moment, though, he is right on the tail of Kazma Daniel. I've really enjoyed Kazma Daniel. He will have learned a lot from his duels with Adam Noradin in Zhuhai, where he was under immense pressure right the way through. Exactly this kind of pressure that Ramdan Rosley's putting him under.
Ramdan Rosley's got some serious corner speed going on there. That's pretty impressive for him. Really good to see the pace that he's showing, and I hope he can get a good result. But look at Pirapong doing everything he has to do at the moment. But I'll tell you what, if it stays like this at the finish, he will not be champion today.
No, but that'd be conservative from Pirapong. It is. We asked this at the start of Zhuhai, whether he wanted to go for the win, and he kind of let the front two duel it out and waited for a mistake that never came. Maybe he's going to have the same tactic today.
Yeah, well, I think that the 600 class at the start of the year had a lot of new riders in it that are taking a little bit of a time to adapting. I mean, there's no doubting that Pirapong was on top of the R6 straight away, but the other guys coming into the class and just took a little bit of time to adapt. Now it's a lot more competitive than it was at the start of the year, and as we're seeing now, it is Ramdan Rosley who's just starting to pull out of the slipstream there.
Ramdan did that at the end of lap 1. He tried the same in lap 2. Kazma Daniel had too much straight line speed. Azroy Hakim has done well on the Musashi Bunshu Honda, but it's Kazma Daniel, the Malaysian, who leads the way. Kazma Daniel, a Johorian, but enjoying the time up in Sepang, will go on the inside. Pirapong has a look. Pirapong moves to P2. Pirapong in P2 is champion.
Yeah, at the moment, but he's still got a few laps to go. And when you've got a guy like Ramdan Rosley that you're dicing with, you know that he is not scared to give it his all.
Izam Iqmal has dropped down quite a bit. He had a good first lap, Izam, but he's dropped off the pace quite considerably. Kazma Daniel, that right foot goes out, just getting a little bit of balance. It always looks so ungainly when they're coming towards us, but it's all about balance and being confident in your place on the track, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they use it for, a little bit of a counterbalance there. Some guys do it, some guys don't. There's no right or wrong in that respect, but you can see it. A lot of the MotoGP guys do it now, so with the extra grip these modern tyres have got, you need every little bit of help you can get.
That help at the moment sees Kazma Daniel leading in P1. All he can do is win this race and hope that Pirapong makes a mistake somehow or has a mechanical failure, not that you want somebody else, well, you do want somebody else to fail if you're leading, don't you?
Well, yeah. But I guess the thing now at the moment is this is a unique position for Pirapong. I mean, the pressure is on him fully at the moment. He knows right now for the first time that if he stays where he is, he will be champion. He will know that right now. And when you've got that playing in your head, and you know that you're under pressure from Ramdan Rosley, who's right behind him, lots of things can happen. Look at Ramdan up the inside there. He's taking a tighter line, and he's managing to hang on to the two guys out front as well.
It is an interesting corner, that turn 14. You can go wide and get a better run off just down that little bit of a hill, or you can go tight and be forced wide. Pirapong out of the slipstream into the lead. Hey, we were thinking conservative, not a thing about it. Pirapong wants the title, then goes wide, but is able to hold on. Pirapong, after 3 laps of 8, is the potential champion.
And there's no way that he's going to put a second place on his championship this year. It's going to be a win or a third, isn't it? So he is going for the win on that number 26 Yamaha.
Pirapong Boonlert, Yamaha Thai Racing Team leads. It was a lovely move. There's 2 long straights here, and as the power of the bikes increases, you've just got that extra bit of momentum. Gosh, he's used that momentum to take a 10 bike length lead at the moment over Kazma Daniel.
What he's done is he's just played this beautifully. Like these Dunlop tyres, he's let his tyres warm up, and look, the number 23 Ramdan Rosley's dived up the inside now. The pole man is working his way back. So Pirapong's let the tyres warm up, let the bike come to him, and then he's put the hammer down, and you can just see how confident he is. Last race meeting in China was the first race meeting this year he's gone without a victory. He doesn't want that to be the case here.
It was a pretty exceptional race that meeting that he went without, but Pirapong leads the way, and these 3 in splendid isolation as they come around this corner. This is into turn 9. They'll take the right into 10, and then the sharp right into turn 11, and then they'll weave their way around this track. It is a lovely track, and again, I've mentioned it several times already, but you don't really see how much undulation there is in this, and how it can just play tricks with the balance of the bike as you come down a hill and then have to sweep up a hill.
No, absolutely. I'll tell you what though, Des, this is an absolute confidence-building race for Ramdan Rosley. If he can stay with Pirapong for another couple of laps, I think that will give him enough confidence to believe that he can win this race. Because let's face it, he's not in the fight for the championship or the top 3 of the championship. So all he's really got to go for is a podium, which he hasn't had a podium this year.
One in
He's had
Buriram.
one podium, sorry, at Buriram. But other than that, it's been a pretty lean year for him. So what better way to go out than with a win here in race 1?
Yeah, I've just glanced at it. You quite rightly said DNF, 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 but they come through start-finish line. It is Pirapong, and the lead is a healthy nearly 3.5 seconds, over 3.5 seconds, and nearly 0.7 of a second ahead of Kazma Daniel.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a lead back to these guys here battling for the minor positions, but they're in a bit of a battle for their own. That's Azroy Hakim, of course, Reza Danica, who was last year's AP 250 champion. Pasovit, the ARRC is there as well, dicing on their SuperSport machines.
There's 3 separate races going on. We're seeing the race for P1. This is the race for P4. Azroy Hakim Amwa. Of course, Musashi Bunchu Honda are used to winning this championship at SuperSport 600. There's the second of their riders, Helmi Azman. He's in P7 ahead of Javier Malloy, who had a podium. But we're back now with Pirapong. Helmi Azman, Ramdan Rosley, as you say, is looking like he's gaining confidence. You can't see an expression inside the visor, but you can visualize it's focused. He's got the back wheel, and he's riding confidently.
Well, I think after you've stayed with the race leader for a number of laps, he stayed with him for 4 laps now, I think that he will be confident within himself that he can run the pace. And if he can run the pace until the last lap, you can be assured that he's not going to finish second. He's definitely not going to finish third. He's going to go for the victory. Pirapong, on the other hand, he can't afford to do anything silly, can he? Because he can crash out of winning the championship here right now. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to wrap this thing up as soon as possible.
Going around the outside, Kazma Daniel has a look, tries to go the long way around this long corner, but There's no way around there. Ramdan Rosley has got that one pretty much belted shut. This is rare to see this kind of a gap in this SuperSports 600cc, but it's 2 races ongoing, 3 races ongoing. This for P1. In P4, Azroy Hakim, he's managed to pull away from Reza Danica. Bike number 20. In his mind's eye, he'll be saying, right, how close can I get to the back of that opening 3? He's got 5 laps to try to get close. Is he lapping quick enough? What is he, 2:11? No, he's lapping slower than the front 3. So that would be a big ask for Azroy Hakim to get on the tail end of the front 3.
Yeah, Azroy, he needed to get a better start. He got held up from that crash that happened earlier on the race. That probably dropped him off the leading pack a bit, caused a bit of a hole in the pack, and then it was too hard for him to come back from that. But these 3 guys out front, they bolted right from the start, and you can see now that they've managed to pull away from the group. But the fastest man of the race so far is Kazma Daniel in 3rd position. So don't give up on Kazma Daniel if you're a fan of his, because there's plenty more left in his tank too.
Yeah, no, the Johorian has stayed close. He lost P1 and then he lost P2 to Ramdan Rosley. It could have been quite discouraging for him, but once again he has a look on the outside around this corner. Maybe he's just trying to see what angles he can look at, getting up close to the back wheel of Ramdan Rosley from the 1XOX SAG Racing team.
It was funny on the grid that Pirapong said that this was going to be a battle between the Thai riders and the Malaysian riders, and that's certainly what it's turned out to be.
Yeah, I wonder how many friends Kazma Daniel's got out there. It's not he's exactly lonely, but is Kazma going to get some home help? Yeah, they don't do that to Johorians.
Yeah, well, he'll be certainly hoping for it, and he will also know the situation. He will know that if he doesn't win this race, that man leading will be crowned the 2019 champion. So Kazma Daniel, let's hope that he's got something left in the tank, that he's just saving his tyres for the last couple of laps.
Andy Farah did turn Ahmed Afif Amran, who had decent qualification first about P2 and P5. They crashed out in the middle of lap 1. Further down, Reza Danica is dropping off. Maybe Reza Danica has got some mechanical problems, because he has dropped right off the map. Marseille from China and Liam McDonald at P12 and 11, Isam Iqmal in 10. They've completed their laps, but Reza Danica has not. Meantime, coming through with a healthy lead. He's increased his lead to over half a second over Ramdan Rosley, Pirapong Boonlert, and his bosses are looking on very approvingly.
Absolutely, and he has got a little bit of a gap now. He's got half a second gap. He's pulled out over the man in 2nd place, Ramdan Rosley, who has now Kazma Daniel breathing all over the back of him. So Kazma Daniel, I think, is looking for a way through now on the man in front of him, who's just looks like he's falling off the pace a little bit.
A little bit further behind them, Azroy Hakim is 5 seconds. He's losing ground on the front 3. Pasawit another 2.5 seconds behind him, but Javier Maloya's got ahead of Helmi Azman for P6, so the Spaniard is looking to pick up some points, but this is our focus on the potential championship winner, and the only man who can stop him, Kazma Daniel in P3. Doesn't have to make a move yet, but has to make sure he's close enough to make a move as we go into the final 2 or 3 laps, Steve Martin.
Yeah, absolutely. And although he did have a bit of a lead heading off of the start, finish straight at the start of this lap, it looks to me like Ramdan Rosley is very fast around this back part of the circuit, has managed to catch right up onto the back of him. So he hasn't been able to stretch that lead out, and you can just see there the TKR team is looking on. The 1XOX TKR SAG Racing team boss is thinking that this is a great ride by his rider.
Well, it certainly is. Ramdan Rosley. He's 1XOX are involved in many of the categories who race in the Asia Road Racing Championships. Different line once again. Once again, you go wide. Now, these are the 2 long straights. If you can get into the slipstream, you might get a pull through, but Pirapong Boonlert has got just enough of a lead. Now then, Ramdan has a look on the inside. Pirapong able to hold on. He started 2 bike lengths clear. He ends the straight 2 bike lengths clear. He comes out of the corner wide, but still leading by a bike length, and Ramdan Rosley in 2nd place behind Pirapong and Kazma Daniel in 3rd. What are we learning from this final corner, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what we're learning. I reckon that Ramdan Rosley is back into the belief that he's got enough pace to stay with the man in front, and he knows that it's going to come down to that final corner. So that's what it's about. It's about positioning, about saving your energy for the last lap of this race. We're going to find out soon with 3 laps to go.
Still Pirapong leads. Ramdan Rosley in second. These three, they've got a lead of over 5.5 seconds from Ajroy Hakim Amwa, who just needs to make sure he doesn't fall off the bike to finish in third. There he is right at the back of your screen, Ajroy Hakim. But we're going to focus very much here on this race for P1. Pirapong under pressure from Ramdan Rosley, the distinctive green livery of the 1XOX team. Very easy to pick out, and right in the slipstream now of Pirapong Boonlet, who's feeling the pressure but not buckling under it. He's been pretty faultless as Pirapong since he took the lead.
Well, he certainly has, but the other two guys are able to hang on. That's a rarity, isn't it? Like normally when Pirapong gets out in front, he just takes off. But today, not the case. The two riders behind him both doing a stellar job and able to keep up with the man in front.
As they come round corner number 9, they'll take the left-hand corner into corner 11. It's still Pirapong Boonlet who leads the way. Ramdan Rosley tries to get close. It's been I wouldn't call it a procession, because processions are quite sedate. This is not a sedate procession, but Pirapong and the positions haven't changed. Now then, Kazma once again goes wide. Ramdan is adamant the inside track is the way to take corner 14.
Yeah, it doesn't seem at this point there's any right or wrong line through there, but obviously Kazma is running wide there to try and get that better drive onto that start-finish straight. But Kazma Daniel, he needs to start thinking about making his way past the man in front, Ramdan Rosley. He needs to be right behind, and you can just see the mid-corner speed. Bit of a moment there. Kazma Daniel gets the drive up the inside, but it's still Pirapong out front. Definitely grip issues there for Ramdan Rosley.
Pirapong, yes, it's not quite approved. That's a nervy look. This isn't secure for Pirapong. They can celebrate in a couple of laps if he remains the same. But Kazma Daniel is making inroads. Not been able to get himself into P3 or P4, but he is making inroads.
No, he's certainly doing a great job out front at the moment. Is Pirapong Boonlet with the other two guys behind him. Ramdan Rosley looking for a podium. It's been a while since he's had one, as you said. And Kazma Daniel, boy, he does not want to finish third, does he? Not today.
Ajroy Hakim just in the outside edge of your picture there. He's still holding on. He's got a 5-second lead from Pasowit in P8. Helmi Asman's overtaken Javier Malloy, who's dropping off the pace a little bit. But they are the minor placings. Further down, Marseille 12, Reza Danica, he is out of the race. Liam McDonald 11th, Izam Iqmal 10th, Fakruzi 9th, Skritchapon 8th, Malloy 7th. Here though, the 1, 2, 3 is Pirapong, Ramdan and Kazma Daniel.
The pace is slowing down at the front. They were in the 10s, now they've dropped off into the 11s. So Pirapong, the pace has slowed down. Kazma Daniel up the inside, he makes the move. Perfect timing with 2 laps to go. Kazma Daniel now, but we'll see what Ramdan Rosley has got. Will he strike back straight away? He needs to.
That was brave. Kazma Daniel needs to get past Pirapong as well. Kazma goes on the inside. Pirapong tries to hold on. Kazma around the outside. Kazma Daniel from P3 to P1 inside 3 corners. Pirapong must respond.
And what a move. I mean, boy, Kazma Daniel, it was sort of handed to him there, wasn't it? And he's put himself back out front. But we know how strong Pirapong is. Pirapong's got great drive down this back straight, and normally he can pull out and pass, but he's on the outside. He's not going for an overtaking manoeuvre this time, but once again he loses the front a little bit, and he's a little bit wide there.
Kazma goes wide, is able to hold on. Ramdan Rosley went from P2 to P3. Pirapong second, has an anxious look behind. Final lap of this SuperSports 600cc race. Kazma Daniel, terrific move with the penultimate lap. Is he able to hold on? Pirapong on the inside. Pirapong has a look. Kazma closes that gate. Pirapong, if it stays like this, will be champion, but you don't want to be champion coming second.
No, that's not a way to stand on the podium, that's for sure. So Pirapong will be doing everything in his power now, because he's got the hungry Ramdan Rosley behind him, who wants to get that second spot on the podium, and he makes a move. Ramdan Rosley gets through. What a great move. The championship is still alive, Des.
Pirapong Boonlet, my word, maybe he was looking at the podium and counting the shekels. They are not theirs to count just yet. It is is Ramdan Rosley in P2, Kazma Daniel in P1. Really good racing from these two. They've left it till late. Ramdan's left it to the last lap. Pirapong has got to respond, but looks a little bit shell-shocked as Kazma Daniel races away, but now he's under pressure from Ramdan Rosley.
He's got an issue. It looks like he's got an issue. He's slowing right down. He's got something wrong. Look at how much he's dropped off the pace.
Pirapong could come under pressure from Azroy Hakim, who is closing in at the front though. We have got Kazma Daniel.
I'll tell you what, keep an eye on this because Ramdan Rosley wants to win this one. He's going to go for it.
Kazma Daniel though still leads the way. Kazma from Ramdan to hungry Malaysians. Kazma leads. Pirapong has decided P3. Let's protect that. Kazma Daniel wants back-to-back wins though as they come round into this right-hand corner. They've rehearsed this so many times. Beyond this, we've got two long straight. Ramdan Rosley, can he get in the slipstream?
He's at the inside now, he's in the slipstream, and you can see Pirapong way off the back, but Kazma Daniel stays to the inside of the track, doesn't leave much to go. He's gone through, but he's wide. They're going to come into it. He's got to go around the outside. You can do it, but he's shot to the inside on the gas, but it looks like it's Kazma Daniel, but the number 23 is coming through. He's going to win it. Ramdan Rosley takes the win. What a great win that was.
Ramdan Rosley from Kazma Daniel, and that could well mean that Pirapong Boonlert in P3 has just got enough points. I'll do a few calculations, but Ramdan Rosley provokes extraordinary scenes from the 1XOX team. Fantastic racing from Ramdan. He was in P3 going into the final lap. He was in P2 coming into the penultimate corner. And Pirapong Boonlert, third place, means that he is champion.
Oh, he didn't see that coming. What a way to win the championship. What a race though. What an amazing race for Ramdan Rosley. That was his first win of the season, and boy, no pressure on the 1,000 rider Aslan Shah coming up in the 1,000 race later on today after seeing his teammate winning the 600s, hey?
With 75 points still to race for, the lead between Pirapong and Kazma Daniel is 76 points. So the man in your shot is the 2019 SuperSports 600cc champion. But he's done it in an anticlimactic way, Steve Martin.
He's stuck to what he does best, winning or finishing third. That's 3 third places in a row for him. But boy, when you look at his year, he won the first 2, 4, 6 races in a row, got a third, then another victory. So that's 7 victories and 4 thirds to win the championship. What a brilliant result for Pirapong.
Well, this is the man who is coaxing his bike home. They are humans, these bikes, and this is superhuman effort from Ramdan Rosley.
Absolutely superhuman effort. He turned it on the inside there, got on the gas. Kazma Daniel just didn't quite have the drive out of that final corner, and it was the number 23, Ramdan Rosley, who takes his first win in the SuperSport 600s this year, across the line for the victory. And I've got a feeling that when he does get onto the podium, he's going to be pretty happy with that, because he had to beat the absolute best to win that race.
Ramdan Rosley wins it for the second time in 3 races. Kazma Daniel loses a race on the final corner. Pirapong Boonlert, 3.5 seconds adrift, but is still champion. He cannot be caught. Congratulations, Pirapong Boonlert. Azroy closed the gap on 4th place in the championships. Helmi Asman coming 5th, so good day for Musashi Bunchu Honda, not on the podium, but 4th and 5th. Pasawit, Javier Malloy and Kritchapong completing the top 8. There were 3 non-finishers. Reza Danica went out with 6 laps to go. We saw the crash with Ahmed Afif Amran and Andy Farid Idzahar. Izam Iqmal 9th, Fakruzi 10th. Liam McDonald 47 seconds for the Victor Racing team, and Marseille coming in 12th place overall. As they come into the Parc Ferme though, Ramdan Rosley will be thrilled to bits. Kazma Daniel will be fuming, because not only did he lose the race, he lost the chance to take the race and the championship into another race, Steve Martin.
Yes, I know. That's probably the only downfall of that race for him, but he rode beautifully, and I guess backing up his great results last time in China. So it's good to see this man, though, take the victory. What a brilliant result for him. What a brilliant win. And you can just see how happy he is and the team. They really deserve that victory. The 1X2X TKKR SAG team have put so much effort into all classes here, and for it to pay off for them in this 600 class, Des, I think they all deserve that.
Last 5 races for Ramdan Rosley. Did not finish. Did not finish. Did not finish. Did not finish. Won it. 25 points. Fantastic stuff. Great entertainment. And Pirapong Boonlet, though, he's the man we're going to be talking to. That is not a happy face for a champion. Although he's putting on the champion t-shirt, he's done it in 3rd place. We'll let him get on the champions t-shirt and then we'll see what he has to say. Now there's the smile. Now the cap goes on. Now he can enjoy the moment. And now I think we can maybe get a word with him where he is going to be talking to our really busy pit-side reporter, Huiling.
Okay, thank you so much, Des and Steve. Now I'm standing with our 2019 SuperSports 600cc champion, Pirapong Boonlet. Pirapong, congratulations. You had an excellent season so far in your very first season in the SuperSports 600cc. Share with us your first words after being crowned champion.
Yeah, first I want to thank you, Yamaha Thailand Racing Team, for give the big chance for me. This is the first year of 600 race in A0 Racing. Then I can get the champion. I very happy. And race 1 is a very strong race because Malaysia top rider, now he come. Yeah, but it is good for next up skill for the future for me. Yeah, thank you.
So we know that you also have a lot of fans in Thailand supporting you. So as a new champion, can you share some words in Thai for your fans back home?
ก่อนอื่นเลยก็ต้องขอบคุณสปอนเซอร์ทุกท่านนะครับแล้วก็ทาง Yamaha Thailand Racing Team นะครับแล้วก็ทางครอบครัวผมแล้วก็ทางเพื่อนๆ FC ที่คอยติดตามเชียร์กันนะครับก็สนามนี้ก็ได้แชมป์เป็นที่เรียบร้อยครับก็เรสแรกก็เป็นเรสแรกที่รู้สึกว่ามันแข็งแกร่งที่สุดเท่าที่ผมเคยเจอมานะเพราะว่ามาเลเซียไรเดอร์ก็ตอนนี้ก็อัพสกิลขึ้นมาเยอะมากก็เป็นข้อดีสำหรับตัวผมด้วยให้เรียนรู้กันต่อไปครับก็ขอบคุณทุกคนมากๆครับก็ทำเต็มที่แล้วครับได้แชมป์มาแล้วเดี๋ยวไปฉลองกันที่บ้านนะ
Thank you so much, Pirapong, and we'll see all 3 riders on the podium shortly.
Couldn't have said it any better myself, Steve. A rookie wins, if you're the first time in a championship and you win the title in such fabulous fashion. Despite 3 third place finishes, he's won this with 7 wins. It's a season-long effort. Got off to a decent start. Goes into the first corner in 2nd place. But Kazma Daniel got off to a great start. But very early on, there was an incident, Steve Martin, where 2 key contenders were taken out. Ahmed Afif Amran, he went out very early on, as did another fast starter, Andy Farid Idzaha. It's at the tail end, I think, of a corner in a moment. And that seemed to open the way for the front 3 to have a race within a race.
Yeah, it certainly did. I think we'll see in the background very shortly that incident occur. We're still really unsure. It looks like a couple of the riders may have come together in the background there. You can see in there the number 27, that's Andy Farid Izzadar down, and Ahmed Afif Amran was down in that one too. But that did open up the front 3. And where we would see normally the number 26, Pirapong, run off into the distance, it wasn't to be this time out because Ramdan Rosley finally came to the game. He really brought his A game here this weekend and he was putting pressure on Pirapong Boonlet. We all thought it was going to be Kazma Daniel because Kazma Daniel, the pole man, boy, he was on fire.
Yeah, in the race behind them as well, Azroy Hakim and Helmi Azman on the Musashi Bunshu Honda. They've just improved gradually as the season has gone on, but our focus primarily was on these front 3. And we're thinking, this is it. This is Pirapong Boonlet. He's so good. But Ramdan in particular, he held on. And even though it was very tight at the end, arguably Ramdan had the race of the season, dare I say.
I'd say so. I mean, especially coming from his last 4 starts, when you consider he didn't finish the last 4 starts he started, had a quick look over his shoulder, and he knew that it was down to these 3. Kazma Daniel, though, the Malaysian, he got in front with a lap to go, and he thought that the race was going to be his, but little did he think that this man would come through.
This is the final corner. Ramdan Rosley loses the lead. Kazma Daniel desperately tries to barge him out, slams on the brakes, accelerates away, just has the propulsion to get forward and to hold off Kazma Daniel. The fact that Ramdan wins and Kazma second means that the man who was third, Podium Confirmation, gets the title, but the celebrations belong to the team in green. 1XOX, fabulous win for them, their first of the season. Now it's all calm again.
For a minute.
I do love the way you have the highs going down to the lows. There is the Sepang circuit, and let's go down to the podium where the overworked, I hope she's paid for effort. Cui Ling is our MC.
We'll begin the podium ceremony for the SuperSports 600cc Race 1. Coming in 3rd place today, Podium Bunlet from Yamaha Thailand Racing Team. In 2nd place, Kazma Daniel Yudin from Hong Leong, Yamaha Malaysia. And today's race winner, Muhammad Ramdan Rosley from 1XOX TKKR SAG Racing Team. We'd also like to invite the team manager from 1XOX TKKR SAG Racing Team to join the riders on the podium. We will now stand for the national anthem of Malaysia. Their trophies. Coming 3rd place today from Thailand, Podium Bunlet. In 2nd place from Malaysia, Kazma Daniel Yudin. And today's race 1 winner from Malaysia, Muhammad Ramdan Rosley. And the best team award today goes to 1XOX TKKR SAG Racing Team.
Our thanks to Stefan Karapier, the FIM Asia president, for handing out the prizes. There is the podium confirmation. Ramdan Rosley. I've rarely seen a prouder Nagara coup sung by the 1XOX team. Kazma Daniel. He's really in great form. 2 seconds and a first in his last 3 races. Big smile from Kazma. No smile, though, from Podium Bunlet, but Podium Bunlet is wearing the #1 t-shirt because he is the champion.